Hey guys, Raids here. Welcome back to another video. As always, like and subscribe if you appreciate my content and the work I put into these videos. Today we're going to go over long requested topic, which is should you go alpha with your pal or not? And this is a question that I see a lot of debate over the topic because alphas are bigger. They do have 20% more HP, but you know some of the dangerous attacks in this game, most dangerous attacks in the game, hit multiple times. So that's why having a larger hitbox can be a dangerous thing. Now, we're going to be testing this directly, extensively in this video using alpha Azuremane and non-alpha Azuremane. In this case, they both have the same passives and the same attack skills. Attack doesn't really matter. Both alpha and the non-alpha in these tests are going to have the same defense. So here's the Paladius's. Same passives. The only thing that changes is whether one is alpha or not. Bellanoir as well. Same passives. Same food buff also. They all have cheeseburger for hunger, just in case. And Bastigor as well. So a couple of things to note here. I will be leaving my opinions on whether you should go alpha or not for each pal. The bigger the hitbox on the base pal, the least I'm probably going to recommend going alpha. So we'll be doing tests on medium and large. In this case, Paladius is large. Everyone else is medium, I believe. So we're going to get started here with Azuremane. Azuremane 1v1 against Bellanoir Ultra. The reason we picked Bellanoir Ultra for these tests is because she has both single target and multi-hit AoE attacks. So Azuremane is going to be 1v1ing Libero, and for each test we're going to be recording how long they last. So the higher the number, the better. It means you lasted longer. So Azuremane here, we can see that the Nightmare Bloom hits a lot, and then this one too, Apocalypse. So Azuremane Battle 1 survived for 1 minute and 50 seconds. And I'll be sharing the numbers in the description so you can compare. Azuremane in the first encounter lasted for 1 minute and 50, so almost made it to 2 minutes. In the second fight here, Azuremane, I think, died really quickly on this one. Yeah, he made it 1 minute and 22 seconds, so died really quickly. And then we have Azuremane, regular Azuremane non-alpha against the Libero Ultra here. And we're obviously speeding things up. I hope you enjoyed chipmunk sounds. So this is Azuremane non-alpha once again. Lasted 1 minute and 30 seconds. Here she should die for an average of 134. And now we're moving on to alpha Azuremane. Remember, alphas are bigger, so they take more hits from multi-hit attacks, but they do have 20% more HP. So this battle specifically, the reason I wanted to do 3 battles for alpha and non-alpha each against Bellanoir is because, you know, there's RNG involved with the moves. Sometimes she doesn't use the same attacks in the same order, so some variance is expected. In this first one, I believe Azuremane lasted 2 minutes and 51, which is a very big outlier. However, as you'll see in the follow-up tests with Azuremane Alpha, that didn't matter. Like, the other results were higher. So what we can conclude from these, and you're going to see here in the follow-up, so Azuremane Alpha here is going to die. Survived 2 minutes and 51. This is the second fight for Azuremane Alpha. So Azuremane Alpha is a pal which is a really good hitbox, and the common theme you're going to see in this video, I'm going to recommend it on the description as well, is that the better your hitbox, such as Azuremane, Anubis, Bellanoir Libero, the better your hitbox and narrower it is, the better it is for you to be alpha. That extra HP really does help when you have a narrow hitbox. Obviously this is a 1v1 scenario, but it's still a good benchmark. So here, Azuremane Alpha, test number 2, he lasted 1 minute and 53 seconds. And then for the final Azuremane Alpha here, he lasted 204, so 2 minutes and 4 seconds. You're going to see that here. For an average of Azur Alpha of 2 minutes and 16 seconds. Even if the first round of Alpha Azuremane was not an outlier, it would still outperform. So you can see here that Azuremane is a pal that going Alpha and Azuremane is good. It really benefits from the HP bonus. A lot of people are like, oh, Alpha gets hit so much, and oh my god. No, that's an exaggeration. That's not the case in practical testing. Here it lasted, yeah. So the average of Azuremane Alpha was 2 minutes and 16, much higher, almost 30 seconds higher. Actually, over 30 seconds higher. So we'll get into that. Here we're moving on to Paladius. This is non-alpha Paladius test 1. Obviously Paladius takes a lot more damage from dark attacks, and this is not a tank build, so he's not going to last very long. Non-alpha Paladius survived the first round. 1 minute and 15 seconds. Round 2 for non-alpha Paladius was 114, and then round 3 was 118, for an average of 1 minute and 15 seconds. So I'll be flagging here when we switch to alpha. Now keep in mind, when you do raid battles, you're going to be swapping in and out, most likely, unless you're teasing the boss. You're going to be swapping in and out. The swapping in and out matters a lot, because when you swap pals in, they're all clumped up in the box. So that's why alpha does penalize you in raid battles when there's a lot of pals. And here we have the final, I believe the final Paladius encounter, which lasted 1:18. And by the way, alphas in this case, you do have a larger hitbox, you get hit more by... yeah, so here's alpha Paladius. So the thing with alpha and Bellanoir is that you get hit more times by Nightmare Stare. And what else catches you many times? I think that's it. That one and maybe Dark Beam. So here we have the first alpha. Oh, and Apocalypse. Apocalypse will catch you more often when you're alpha. So those are the two moves that really play into alpha here, penalizes them. So the first alpha Paladius lasted for 1:14. Not too different from non-alpha. However, in the second and the third battle, we did notice some variance here where it did go higher. So here you can see Apocalypse punishes alpha Paladius a little more. Second alpha Paladius survived for 1:59. You're gonna see that right here. And then this is the final alpha Paladius, where he survived for 1:25. Yep, Dark Wisp is going to eat him. Exactly 1:25 for an average of 132 on alpha Paladius, outperformed the non-alpha. We're switching now to Bellanoir. This is Bellanoir non-alpha. Obviously Bellanoir is dark element, so she's going to resist a lot of these attacks, or all of them actually, they're all dark. So she should have a higher average number than the others, except for Bastigor because he's very chunky, but that's a exception. Chunky and not weak to dark, so Bastigor. So first Bellanoir non-alpha here lasted for 1:46, I believe. Yep, 1:46. And then non-alpha Bellanoir round 2 survived for 151, sorry. And for the third round, 139 for an average of 145. So remember, the average for non-Bellanoir was 145. And then while this happens, I'm going to go over the raid situation. So the reason that alpha comes into play in raids with multiple pals present, which is 15 or more for most people, is because once you're swapping pals in, they're not spread out at all. And that's when alpha can really punish you. Because let's say you're fighting as Xenoloord or Xenoloord Ultra, you swap in a new wave of pals, boom, he holy burst everybody. That is when alpha can punish you a little bit more. But in the opening stages of the fight, or once the alphas are spread out, alpha is better than non-alpha in, I would say, medium, small, and large hitboxes. So that's a very important thing to keep in mind. I believe we have the final Bellanoir, normal Bellanoir right here. Here we're switching to alpha Bellanoir. Remember, I'll be putting this all in the description, so don't worry. Normal Bellanoir round 3 went on for 139. She survived for an average of 145 than alpha. Now we're switching to alpha Bellanoir here, which slightly bigger, more HP. Alpha Bellanoir, by the way, has a big HP pool right off the rip, so she actually gains a lot by the extra HP percentage. It's a big bonus. Like if you look at it flat numbers instead of the percentage, it's big what she gains in raw HP value. So non-alpha alpha Bellanoir, excuse me, in the first round survived for 2 minutes and 30 seconds, which is significantly higher. This is alpha Bellanoir round 2. Alpha Bellanoir round 2 survived for 2 minutes, 2:01, 2 minutes and 1 second. So I'll also be putting in the description an analysis of the most common combat pals people use and whether you should go alpha or not. It's pretty important. I would say the bigger the pal, the least likely I would recommend alpha in raids. But if your pals like Paladius or Bellanoir Libero or Anubis or Orserk or Bastigor, which has a really good hitbox, I would recommend the alpha for sure. So I'll be putting that in a nice little list. So again, I hope you guys enjoy this testing. I have a lot of fun making these. I think it's very worthwhile. But the caveat for this video should be that don't always think, oh, I read on Reddit or somewhere that alpha is bigger and it takes more hits and it dies quicker. That's not necessarily true. As we can see here, this is a pretty good race situation. Okay, so here we have, I think, the final Bellanoir Alpha. She survived for 1 minute 40, which puts Alpha Libero on an average of 2 minutes and 3 seconds. That's higher than non-Alpha. And now we're switching to non-Alpha Bastigor. Bastigor is a very beefy pal. These ones have Legend, Demon God, and I think Siren. And also, just Bastigor has a very big total stats pool, so he's the tankiest of them all. Even if he doesn't resist Dark, he should be surviving longer. So, non-Alpha non-Alpha Bastigor, excuse me, survived for 2 minutes and 19 seconds on the first round, which you're about to see here. And you know, you're gonna see a common theme here, you know, surprise, but in these tests, Alpha in these good hitboxes that we're testing, which is Azuremane, Paladius, Libero, and this other pals like this are examples of pals like this are Orserk, Anubis, Necromus has a good hitbox also. Anything that has a decent narrow hitbox that doesn't get too much bigger, doesn't get too much size as Alpha, just straight up save your Alphas. They're worth it. Now, if something's very broad, like an Bastigor or something, do not go Alpha in raids. It's going to be too much risk for when you swap in. So I'll be putting down a list of that. So here we have the second Bastigor, normal Bastigor, non-Alpha Bastigor, survived for 1 minute and 55. And then we have the third non-Alpha Bastigor here that survived for 143. The average for Bastigor non-Alpha is going to be 159. And then as soon as this guy dies, this third one actually didn't barely lost it at all, 143, because of multi-hits from Apocalypse and other shit. Yeah, so we're switching to Alpha here, Alpha Bastigor. I think this was an example of the only Alpha that didn't perform better than the base in this one round, straight to 1, but the average is still higher through 3 rounds. So this guy got annihilated pretty quickly. Alpha Bastigor, round 1, survived for 2 minutes and 7 seconds. Round 2 survived for 2 minutes and 26 seconds. And round 3 survived for 2 minutes and 14. So each time we did Alpha Bastigor, he survived for over 2 minutes. That was not the case with non-Alpha. And again, another example of a pal that just benefits greatly from the extra 20% HP. So going back to the rumor mill, people usually go, oh, Alpha, 20% HP, not worth it, not worth it, not worth it. Well, no, not necessarily true. That's not the case. Remember, raids have both single targets and AoE attacks, so it's not straightforward. Not every attack is a multi-hit attack. Obviously, against a straight shot attack, Alpha is going to survive longer. For example, Astral Ray on Xenolord, Fireball on Xenolord, things like that. Being Alpha is just better. You're going to take the hit anyway most of the time. So here we have Bastigor Alpha, I believe. Yep. Survived. This is round 2, I believe. Yep. Survived for 226, so already pretty high. And then the final round of the video is going to be Bastigor Alpha, which survived for 214. Puts Alpha Bastigor as an average of 2015, which is 16 seconds higher on average than non-Alpha. So for all 4 of these pals, the Alpha variant outperformed the non-Alpha. I will leave you guys a description, in the video description, a long list of pals, their hitbox, the style of hitbox, whether it's narrow or wide, how large the game flags the hitbox has, and whether you should go Alpha or not. So that concludes the testing and this guide. I hope this helped you think, how to approach your own breeding and which pals to keep and which alphas to trash. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Give me a like and a comment if you enjoyed it. I will see you on the next one.